Hello everybody and welcome back to Red Eagle Politics. Make sure you guys like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So Texas officially has done it. The House has cleared the redistricting map, which has added 5 Republican seats in Congress pending the 2026 midterms. And this is really big because we talk about the House map already being competitive. Republicans at 213. In some of these maps that we've seen, these no toss-up maps now, because usually it's been 208, the Democrats at 206, but now Greg Abbott has had the courage, and the Texas Republicans have had the courage to push that 208 out to 213, and there's very likely going to be redistricting in Ohio, which would push that to 215, meaning Republicans just need 3 toss-up districts in the House to go out there and hold their trifecta because they're not losing the Senate. However, we understand that there have been efforts on the Democrat side to combat this, and largely in bad faith. They're going out there dismantling the commissions that they really took pride in. The so-called independent commission, which was anything but independent, by the way. You have Gavin Newsom. What does Gavin Newsom do? He appoints 5 Democrats, 5 Republicans, and they're all liberal Republicans who I guarantee you 0 of them voted for Donald Trump. They're rhinos, like by every stretch of the term. And then 4 very liberal independents with backgrounds in very liberal areas. So they draw this map where in the state of California, Republicans are getting 40% of the vote, and they're also only getting about 9 out of the 52 seats in California. Now, the new Texas map gives Republicans 30 out of the 38 seats. It's actually less, I guess you would say, when it comes down to the proportion of vote totals, less egregious than California's map. In many regards, it's fairer geographically than California's map. But a lot of this is because you have states like Illinois, New York, California, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Maryland, you name it. The list goes on and on and on. New Mexico, Nevada, Oregon, these Democrat states that have these gerrymanders, Republicans don't have enough of their own to offset it. So in the state of Texas, they're redrawing the map to make it more favorable. But also the census robbed Republicans of about 5 congressional seats that they should have because it was a COVID census conducted very poorly, late 2020, early 2021, when it all got put together for apportionment. There were massive discrepancies, and that costed Republicans quite a bit of seats. And on top of it, you can see that Republicans, they won the House vote by 3 points, but they only have a 5-seat majority. That is not exactly really all that usual in a historical sense. So what we're seeing now is they're going back to the drawing board, and redistricting in places like Texas. California might try to bite back, and we understand that. And it's very possible that, according to this tweet right here, about a 40% chance they clear all the hurdles and get new districts in time for the midterms, because that is very true, that they have a lot of hurdles. It's dubious in terms of the state constitution. Newsom's trying to put it on the ballot for a special election. It only has 36% support. When they ask the question very strategically in a Gavin Newsom internal, it's at 57% support. So either way, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But if it does happen, Democrats, they would net 4, which means that the Republicans and all the gains they would have made in Texas and Ohio, those 7 seats would be cut down to 3. But you have several Republican states that are also willing to go on offense and make sure that they can cancel out California, and there's not really much else that the Democrats will be able to do about it. So we're going to talk about those states, but first, really quickly, got to tell you guys about my friends over at Chalk. Our country just witnessed Donald Trump overcome political persecution, an assassination attempt, and the entire deep state to retake the presidency with a historic victory. And one secret ingredient allowed him to do it, and it's called testosterone. And what most people don't realize is that testosterone makes men willing and eager to take on challenges. Sadly, too many men have lost their fight, and that's exactly how the globalists want it. They want us weak, out of shape, and full of estrogen and microplastics with low T, which is why we're excited to partner with Chalk. They offer a whole line of products formulated to increase your energy, focus, detoxify your body, and clinically studied boost testosterone. Ingredients in the Chalk Male Vitality Stack have been clinically studied to boost free testosterone in 87% in just 21 days. Unlike with gimmicky vegetable pills or powder, you will feel the difference, and they have the clinical studies to back it up. And right now you can get 25% off your Chalk subscription, not just one time, but for life. So go to chalk.com, spelled CHOQ.com, and use the promo code REDEAGLE. That's 25% off any subscription for life, and you can cancel it at any time. All right, guys, so talking about these states, one of them is the state of Indiana. Indiana has this congressional map where, again, Democrats, they have their district in Indianapolis. There's a somewhat competitive but still Republican district north of Indianapolis. And then the Gary area, which is moving significantly to the right, they have a lean blue seat. But you could easily draw it. And by the way, that seat by the end of the decade probably would end up flipping anyway, so it's not really even that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things. It just would fast track it. But what it would do is it would cancel out one of the Newsom power grab seats. So it would rectify that, and that would be huge. So Indiana has moved forward with redrawing its maps for 2026. We'll see if those go into effect. They could be hedging their bets and waiting for California to see if that passes before they do it. And also, you have another state, the state of Missouri. And Missouri is a state where you have Kansas City. The Kansas City area, there's a little bit of blue. There's one blue county in the area, at least one blue county, depending on the year, but usually one blue county where Kansas City is. And Republicans would have the possibility to break up Kansas City, still have a compact map, and still be compliant with the Voting Rights Act, which is possibly going to be gutted, these antiquated provisions that hand out free DEI districts to Democrats. So when you see the possibility of what could be done with Kansas City, that would be huge because that would give Republicans yet another seat. So you're talking about the fact that that's 2 seats that could cancel out the Newsom 4, on top of the fact that you would also have the Ohio seat. So it's still +5, Republicans at 213. But could they possibly go further? Is there another state that has the courage to play for keeps? The left plays for keeps. The right is finally just realizing that they can do it too, and they can do it more effectively because the maps can be drawn in a very compact manner because geography usually is on the Republican side because they tend to go out there and win a lot of those, rural areas that can be split up more easily. And when it comes down to the Democrats, they have to do all these like spaghetti districts in order to do their gerrymanders. So one thing we do know is that Florida may be next. Ron DeSantis, Donald Trump and him have sort of been repairing their relationship, even though DeSantis's political future's over at the presidential level, it seems. But DeSantis has held a press conference about redistricting, implied he may do a redraw in 2026, probably waiting on California, but he's saying the current maps reflected 2019 or 2020 Florida, and some areas have had massive population growth. A lot of that's been Republican. The districts are out of balance. All that is technically true, and I think that he's going to wait and see, what happens with the VRA. There's a Supreme Court hearing this November on certain provisions of that, and on top of it, you also have these, possible initiatives about a new census, and then obviously the Newsom thing. I don't think we're going to get a new census, but I don't think we need one because I think we understand where the miscount was, and it directly impacted Republicans. And on top of it, we've done the analysis. Democrats benefit from gerrymandering in its current form. Even if Texas and Ohio went forward with it, they would still be the net benefactors of gerrymandering, even though they claim that they're not. So Florida's another one, because you talk about how they've drawn their maps. I mean, Tampa has a blue seat. There's no blue counties in Tampa, so you could easily rework that. Some of the Miami area, it kind of looks like it's not very compact in some of these places. You could say that like some of these districts look a little bit like they've been gerrymandered, but in fact, you could draw these districts in Florida in a way where you would have more compact districts, and it would also be a redder map. You could possibly go out there and pick up 3, 4, if not 5 seats in Florida alone. And if California goes through with it, Florida needs to go through with it. And a lot of these other blue states, there's no room for them to grow, which kind of tells on themselves. It's funny hearing Massachusetts say, we might have to redraw our map. And it's like, you don't have a red district. Your map is drawn to prevent any chance of a competitive district, let alone a red district. Illinois, I mean, their geography is not very good. Republicans are winning like 46, 47% of the House vote in Illinois as well. But when you look at it, the Democrats have all but 3 of the state's 17 seats, which is laughable. And you have districts that are touching, eastern Illinois almost, that touch the western part of the state, very narrowly drawn, including parts of eastern St. Louis suburbs that are a little bit blue, and mixing that in with Springfield, Illinois. It's a ridiculous map in Illinois. The fact you have Rockford and central Illinois in the same district and it's like non-contiguous, the whole thing is awful. I mean, the whole thing is a disaster. You can't really draw anything else there. A lot of these other states have these independent commissions, some of which are less independent than others, but Colorado's map is fair. Michigan's map, at least at the congressional level, is fair. Pennsylvania's map is relatively fair, even though I think you could make a case that that district in northwestern Pittsburgh was drawn not for the sake of compactness, but for the sake of like proportionality, which is not the number one reason why districts should be drawn, but it's not the most egregious thing in the world. Maybe Virginia tries to go through with something. Looking at how Democrats could possibly go for this, Maryland, I mean, it would be very hard to draw out Andy Harris without it being a dummy mander. Illinois, what are they going to try to draw out? One more Republican? That one's tough. New York is at like 5% because it's very unlikely. There's a lot of hurdles they'd have to clear for that. And on top of it, it's like they've already done that before. They already redistricted. They drew out several Republicans because, again, these are the real gerrymanders, but they don't get talked about. Democrats just want to play the victim about Texas righting several wrongs on their behalf. Also, Washington and Colorado, unlikely. Maine and Nebraska, unlikely. It doesn't seem like we're going to see a lot of these other red states redraw. Maybe after the VRA, I think Louisiana could net a seat. And there's a very good chance that this could all just lead to the Republicans going out there and making sure that they hold the House in what Democrats are anticipating to be a blue wave midterm, which would be hilarious. Then they'll talk and whine about it being stolen and virtually just deny the results of it, basically what they accuse Republicans of doing. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Like this video down below, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media. The links are all in the description down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Red Eagle out.